Okay, so another quick little thought as I'm dismounting the mountain. I don't know. That's climbing down. I don't know. What do you call it? Transversing, descending. That's the word. They say, I don't know who they are again. But anyway, they say they actually are more dangerous when you're coming down a mountain than when you're going up a mountain. And that's kind of makes sense because when you're going up a mountain, you're paying more attention. Your energy is required to go up the mountain. When you're coming down the mountain, usually more tired because it's the end of the journey, and gravity is starting to work with you, and you get a little sloppy. So coming down the mountain is actually more dangerous than going up the mountain. Who would have thunked it? Actually, I saw a little thing here about one of these benches dedicated to a guy who summited K2. And I'm going to look him up, but his date of death, the year of his death was the same year that he summited K2. So there's a good chance he didn't make it back down, which is why it says summited, not, and I did a unit on Mount Everest with my students a few years back, and we talked about Mount Everest. A lot of people, they would get to the top and then they die coming back down. I don't know why I'm doing this cheerful note here, but I'm coming back down, and I was just thinking as I'm walking down, about remaining steady and watching your step and, being smart on the way down as well on the way up. Then, of course, the other idea I had as I was coming down is, we say like when a famous person stumbles or messes up, in the news lately, there's been a lot of that, okay? But in, life too, man of God does something and stumbles, and everybody's like, oh, Christians are hypocrites, right? Of course, because they're coming down the mountain. They've achieved something, and they're coming back down. They're getting sloppy. They're getting careless. The energy that it took to get to that place is no longer needed, so they get a little careless. And then conversely, people on the going up the mountain, and you have to be more careful. You got to watch your stuff. Otherwise, you never make it up the mountain to begin with. Then you don't become famous or well known. Then when you fail, no one really cares. So, we notice when the mighty men or big people, when they fall. We don't notice when, the people climbing the mountain fail because they haven't climbed the mountain. No one knows who they are. Anyway, these cheery thoughts were just my contemplations as I'm coming down the El Dorado Canyon State Park. It's also the shadow that the sun has gone past the mountains over here, so it's a little more dreary, which is why it's also informing the mood. So, shalom.